Hello everyone, my name is Vivek. I am a software developer and I make videos about containers, Kubernetes, and Go as a programming language. So if you like the videos that I've been making, you can consider or you should consider subscribing to the channel. In this particular video, we are going to look into what are Kubernetes network policy resources and how we can use them to actually isolate our workload from rest of the system, or in other words, how we can actually control the communication between two workloads, right? So this is what a network policy resource in Kubernetes is used for, right? So for example, let's say you have your application deployed, right? And there are a set of pods that are running your workload, right? And now you want that only specific set of pods should be able to connect to your workload pod, right? So for example, let's say you are running an application and you want that only these set of pods should be able to connect to my workload. All these things can be controlled or can be done using network policy resources, right? So like I discussed, for example, let's say if you have your workload running, there are chances that you have a number of pods running for your workload, right? So to apply a network policy on those workload pods, what we use is labels and selectors, the concept of labels and selectors. So for example, let's say there are a set of pods on which we want to apply the network policy, right? And we are going to specify those pods using the concept of labels and selectors, right? So in the case of network policy, we very heavily use labels and selectors. So for example, let's say you have your workload pod and you want that a specific namespace, for example namespace 1, or any workload from namespace 1 can make a connection or can communicate with your workload pod, right? In that case, you are going to select that namespace, or you are going to specify that namespace using labels and selectors, right? So everything, for example, let's say pods and namespaces, we specify everything using labels and selectors if we talk about network policy, right? So now that we have a basic understanding of why do we actually use network policies, we can go ahead and try to have a look into an example of a network policy manifest, and then we can actually discuss about all the fields that are being used there, right? But before that, let me quickly summarize why do we actually use network policies. So for example, let's say you have your pod running, right, your application running, and that uh, you want that only a specific set of pods, right, should be able to connect to your workload pod or should be able to connect to your application pod, right? Or let's say a specific set of IP block should be able to access your pod, right? And any IP address that is not in that IP block, IP range, should not be able to access your application or your workload, right? And in all these scenarios, we use network policy resources, right? So I have a Kubernetes cluster set up here, and I have just installed a very simple application, library application, and we have inserted some records into the database, right? So now let's just go ahead and try to look into how do we actually uh, specify a network policy resource, right? So for example, let's say you have an application running, right? And that application is, let's say, library application, right? And this library application is running one pod, and let's say the label that your library pod has is app colon library, right? So now if you have to apply a network policy in this particular pod, what you will have to do is you will have to create a network policy in the same namespace where this particular pod resides, right? And in that particular network policy, you will have to specify this particular label selectors just to specify or just to make sure that the network policy that you are going to create would be applied on the pods that have this particular label, right? So for example, let's say if you have three replicas of your pod running, all those three replicas are going to have this particular label, right? And in that case, your network policy is going to be deployed, is going to be applied to all those three replicas, right? Another thing that I would like to discuss about is, by default, these pods are not actually isolated, right? So if we just create the pod, any pod from any namespace can actually communicate to this particular pod, right? So by default, these pods are not isolated. As soon as we create a network policy that selects this particular pod, this pod becomes isolated, right? So for example, if I create a network policy that selects any pod with label app library, in that case this particular pod would be isolated, and only the rules that are specified in that particular network policy would be applied to these set of pods, right? So yeah, this is very basic understanding of network policy. Now if we just go ahead and try to look into this more, so for example, let's say this is the pod that you want to treat as subject, or that you want to secure, right? So there are two types of connections that can be made into or from this particular pod. So for example, let's say either you can decide or you can configure the incoming requests or outgoing requests, right? So for example, you can say that I only want to accept incoming request from X pod, right? Or X number of pods, or these set of pods, right? And that kind of policy is called ingress policy, right? So incoming request can be simply said as ingress policy. Similarly, for example, let's say if you want to specify something about outgoing connections, right? In that case, that kind of policy is called egress policy, right? So you specify this particular pod is only allowed to communicate with these set of pods, so that would be treated as egress policy, right? So for example, let's say this is source, right? And this is target, and this is our workload, right? So for example, if we talk about this connection, right, from source to our pod, this is incoming connection, right? And this connection is called ingress. But if we talk about from library to target pod, in that case this particular policy type or connection is called egress, right? So while creating a policy, we can specify both kind of rules. For example, what are all the ingress rules that are going to be applied, and what are all the egress rules that are going to be applied on these set of pods, right? So yeah, I mean, let's just go ahead and try to look into an example that I have here. So for example, this is taken from Kubernetes official documentation. So again, it has metadata information, and in spec we are saying that this particular network policy is going to be applied on all the pods that are in default namespace and have this particular label, right? In other words, let me clarify that once again. So it simply says that this particular, if I create this network policy, this network policy is going to be applied on all those pods that have this particular label and are in default namespace, right? So now that we know what are all the pods where or on which this particular network policy would be applied, let's just go ahead and try to look into what are all the policies here, right? So it says that there are two policies that we are mentioning in this particular network policy: ingress and egress, right? And for ingress, again, if we look into this particular example, in ingress we should specify source, right? So we are going to specify from what are all the pods from which incoming request to this particular application or workload is allowed, right? So it just says in case of ingress, incoming requests from these many entities, from these many resources or entities is allowed on port 6379, right? again, so let me summarize this once again. So this ingress policy just says that uh, incoming request from all these resources or entities is allowed on a pod that has label role:(db) in default namespace and on port 6379, right? So this is what this particular block of manifest specifies, right? And again, if we talk about ingress, we specify source, right? And if we talk about egress, we specify target, right? So this is about ingress. And if we talk about egress, again, if we look into this particular example, in case of egress, we specify to which particular resource or to which particular pods or set of resource, set of pods, the outgoing traffic is allowed, right? So we are going to specify two in that case. So it says to this particular IP block, right, on port 5978. So if we talk about egress, it simply says that outgoing connection from the pods that have role:(db) label in default namespace is only allowed to the IP block this, right, and on port 5978, right? So this is a very, what should I say, basic and sufficient example of how network policies are configured, right? So yeah, I mean, as you can see here, in from section, in the case of ingress policy, in the from section, we are specifying namespace selector, pod selector, and IP block, right? So these are some of the things that can be used to configure the source of the incoming request, right? So for example, there can be some scenarios, right? So for example, let's say if you want to allow network connections uh, only from the pods that are in the same namespace, right? So for example, let's say you have your application deployed on a namespace, let's say REST API, and in the same namespace you have another pod deployed, and you want to allow only that connection. So for example, let's say a dummy pod Nginx is deployed, so only Nginx should be able to connect to your REST API application, and other pods, for example, other pods that are even in the same namespace or in this another namespace should not be able to connect to your a workload pod, right? So in that case, you can specify pod selector, right, namespace selector, and combination of these two, right? So we are going to look into that in more detail in a bit, but let's just go ahead and try to discuss about this particular thing, that where we specify IP block, right? So in the case of namespace selector and pod selector, it is pretty clear that ingress is allowed from the namespaces that have this particular label, right? And similarly, ingress is allowed from pods from the same namespace that have this particular label, right? But if we talk about IP block, I'm quickly going to explain what does this particular mean. So this actually means a set of IP addresses, right? So if we talk about an IP address is actually made up, even or if we talk about IPv4 kind of IP addresses, the IP address is actually made up of network spaces and actually hosts. So for example, let's say in your private network, you can have n number of sub networks, right, or n number of networks. So this IP address consists of network addresses and host addresses, and this particular value here specifies that how many bits are going to be used as network to specify network, and then how many bits are going to be used as hosts, right? So for example, we can see that, or we can say that we know that IPv4 addresses are 32 bits long, and it simply says that 16 bits are actually used to identify network, and rest of the 16 bits are used to identify the hosts, right? And then it actually forms a set of IPs, and from and having this particular field here just says that connection from those IPs is allowed, right? So yeah, maybe I can make another video about this. But yeah, this is what I wanted to discuss about CIDR. This is classless interdomain routing, right? So yeah, I mean, this was an example of network policy. Now, what I'm going to do is I have some use cases, and I'm going to actually show you each of them by creating the network policy, right? So, for example, let's say I have this one use case where in the same namespace we have our workload pod, our application, and in the same namespace we have two other pods running, Nginx1 and Nginx2, right? And what we want to do is initially this pod would be accessible from both of these pods, right? But as soon as, because by default this pod is not isolated, but as soon as I create a network policy to allow communication between these two pods, right, it simply means that this pod would be isolated, right? And in that case, even if we are just allowing communication between these two pods, this particular pod would not be able to communicate with our workload pod, right? So let's just go ahead and try to do that. So as I told you, I have already installed a library application, right? And our workload is running in this particular namespace, that is REST API. So let's just go ahead and try to create a deployment in the REST API namespace named Nginx1, right? And image is going to be Nginx, right? And similarly, we are going to create another deployment, right, named Nginx2, and image is going to be Nginx, right? So to simulate this, we have created two deployments, or in other words, two pods, and we already had REST API pod up and running, right? Now let's just check if all the pods are up and running. Now what we are going to do is we are going to connect to this particular pod from these two pods, and by default this connection should work, right? So if right, and by default this should work because this particular pod by default is not isolated, right? So curl, and in that case we would actually need IP address, and we know that our application is listening on 8080 on this particular resource path, right? So we can see that we are able to actually connect to our REST API workload, right, from Nginx1. And let's just go ahead and try to do the same thing from another pod, right? And we should be able to, yeah. So here we go. What we have done is we were able to connect to REST API pod from Nginx pod and Nginx 2 as well, right? Now let's just go ahead and try to look into this particular network policy that we have, right? So what this network policy says is this particular network policy is going to be applied on all the pods that have app::REST API label and are in REST API namespace, right? So for example, so because we actually wanted to target this particular pod, right? So if you look into our diagram here, we wanted to target this particular pod, and we can see that this pod has app::REST API label, and that is why we have specified this particular label, right? So it simply means that this particular network policy is going to be applied on pods that are in REST API namespace and have this particular label, right? Now policy type specifies what are all the policy types that we are going to manage or configure as part of this particular network policy, right? So we are saying we are just going to configure ingress policy type, right? We are just going to configure ingress or incoming connections, right? And inside ingresses, what we are saying is ingress is allowed from pod selector app colon nginx, right? So as we can see here, we are not specifying anything else than pod selector app nginx, right? One thing that I would like to highlight here is, if we are just specifying pod selector, it simply means that this would be applied, or we are talking about the pods that are in the same namespace, right? If we are for from if you are just specifying pod selector, it simply means that we are talking about the pods that are in the same namespace. So what we are saying is, connection on this particular pod, right, is allowed from the pods that have this label in the same namespace on port 8080, right? So let's just go ahead and try to apply this network policy. And once network policy is created, we can actually describe this particular network policy to figure out the details about what this particular network policy is going to do, right? So describe network policy, right? And from REST API namespace, and name is REST API, right? So we should be able to actually see that, yeah, this just says it is allowing ingress traffic to port 8080, right, from the pods that have this label, right? So this network policy is going to allow ingress traffic on this pod from this pod on port 8080, right? Now what should we do is, if we just go ahead, since we have specified that now the request should only be allowed from first pod to REST API, if we just go ahead and try to look into okay, so it is not going to work because we are allowing traffic from app colon nginx, but the label here is nginx1, right? And if we just apply the network policy once again, now if we just go ahead and try to access the things once again, right, and if we copy the IP colon 8080 API slash v1 books, right, and this should be allowed, right, because this is what our network policy sees. Incoming requests only from this particular pod to this pod is allowed, right? If we just go ahead and try to do the exact same thing, but from another pod, that is nginx2, this should not be allowed, right? And if we try to curl again, this should not work, right? And we can see that now we are not actually able to query this particular workload from another pod, right? So yeah, I mean, the other thing that I would like to emphasize is, network policies only work if the network plugin that you are using supports network policy, or implements network policy, right? Otherwise network policies are not going to work. So for example, let's say if you are running a cluster and the network plugin that is installed there, for example, in our case, I think the network plugin that we are using is Cilium, right? But if you are using a network plugin that doesn't implement network policies, in that case, creating network policy is not going to affect anything, right? So that is another thing that is important, right? And we can see here, we were not able to connect to the library pod, right? The other thing that I would like to discuss about is, excuse me, for example, let's say you have this particular use case, right? In one namespace you have your application running, right? And you want to just allow namespace 1 to communicate with your REST API pod, but another namespace, that is namespace 2, workloads from this particular namespace 2 should not be able to communicate with your REST API pod, right? So in that case, what we are going to do is, let's just go ahead and try to look into this particular network policy. So it just says, again, this pod selector is same because we want to protect the same pod that we had, right? So it says this network policy is going to be applied on pods that have this particular label, right? And we are going to specify the policy type ingress or incoming requests from namespace that has label name colon nginx1, right? And on port 8080. So as soon as we specify this particular network policy, incoming connections from any of the other namespaces is not going to be accepted, right? So let's just go ahead and try to create a namespace, right? So we already have this particular namespace, and we already have this pod running, right? What we have to do is we have to create these two namespaces. So create namespace, let's say nginx1, right? And then create namespace nginx2, right? And let's just go ahead and try to run an nginx pod in nginx1 namespace. So what we are going to do is, in this particular namespace, we are going to run nginx pod nginx1, right? And name is going to be nginx, and image is nginx, right? Now if I try to access REST API pod or library pod from this particular pod that has been created, we should be able to access that, right? And let's just go ahead and try to create another pod in nginx2 namespace named nginx2, right? So here we go. We have two namespaces, and in both of these namespaces we have two pods up and running, right? And we would be able to connect to this REST API pod without any issues. What we have to do now, let's just go ahead and try to restrict the communication from namespace 2 to REST API. We just want to allow communication from first namespace, right? So that is what we have done in this particular network policy, right? So we are going to apply this to pod that has this particular label, and network would and incoming traffic would only be allowed if the workload is in a namespace that has this particular label. So let's just go ahead and try to get the namespaces and see if our namespace has the label, but it doesn't have the label, right? So let's just go ahead and try to label the namespace, and we want to label it with name equals to nginx1 kubectl label ns and then namespace name, right? And now if I just go ahead and try to create the network policy, right? And if we try to describe this, so it says incoming traffic, right? Incoming traffic on this particular pod is allowed from namespace this, right? It's as simple as that. So if we just go ahead and try to so if we exit into this pod, we should be able to connect, right? So if we look into this diagram once again, from namespace 1 we should be able to connect to REST API. right? And here we go, we are able to see that we are able to connect to REST API from the pod that is in namespace 1. But if we just go ahead and try to do the same thing from the other pod that is in another namespace, that is Nginx 2, right? Yeah, so we are not actually able to connect to REST API from this particular namespace, right? So yeah, I mean, this is another use case where we want to allow traffic from the workloads that are in a specific namespace. Now, what I would like to emphasize is, since we just have specified namespace selector, right? So in that case, from any of the workload, from any of the pod of this particular namespace, we would be able to connect to the REST API pod, right? So for example, if we create 1,000 pods in this particular namespace, we would be able to communicate to REST API from all of those pods, right? So in other way, we are allowing namespace to talk to REST API pod, right? And if we go ahead and try to look into this particular manifest once again, we are just saying allow traffic from this namespace on port this for pod this that is in REST API namespace, right? Now, the other use case that I would like to discuss about is, let's say you have your pod in REST API namespace, and you want certain pods from one namespace to connect to your pod, right? So we can say here we have two namespaces and there are n number of pods in one namespace, and we just want to allow one pod to communicate with REST API application, right? And if we look into the network policy here, we can see that it simply says that again, it is going to be applied on a pod in namespace REST API that has app colon REST API label, right? Excuse me. And the policy type that we are going to specify is ingress. And in ingress, what we are saying is traffic from this particular namespace and only this particular pod is allowed. Now the difference is when we specified pods, right? Just pods. If you look into this particular example, when we specified pods from, we have pods, right? I mean, we can say that pod selector is under from or is children of from, right? But in this particular case, from for from we have this particular object, and pod selector is object of this particular pod selector is sub children of this particular children, right? Let me reframe that. So in this particular case, pod selector was children of from directly, right? But in this particular case, pod selector is children of this particular field, which is children of from, right? So yeah, I mean, this is one thing that I want to emphasize. If you want to just specify directly pod selector, right? So for example, in this particular case, we directly wanted to specify pod selector, right? But in this particular case, we want to specify specific set of pods from a namespace, right? So we will specify namespace selector, and from this namespace all these pods would be able to communicate, right? So I hope that makes sense. If you have any question, we can discuss that in comment section. So now what we are going to do is, let's just go ahead and try to create two namespaces, right? So ns1 and ns2, right? And right? And in ns1 we are going to run two pods, right? So create deployment in the namespace ns1, and name is going to be ns1, sorry, nginx1, right? Similarly, we are going to create another deployment named nginx2 in the same namespace with image equals to nginx, right? And let's just go ahead and try to create another pod in another namespace, right? So 2, right? And this name is going to let's say going to be nginx and nginx, right? So yeah, I mean, we have this setup now. Let's just go ahead and try to allow just the traffic from pod 1, right? And that is what this particular network policy says. Allow traffic from this namespace and the pods that have this particular label, right? So let's just go ahead and try to apply that, right? And if I just describe that network policy from namespace REST API 3, right? And it says this is applied on this particular pod, right? And the incoming traffic is allowed from this namespace and the pods that have this particular label, right? So let's just go ahead and try to get the pods from ns1 and show labels, right? So app colon nginx1, and namespace should have label ns1. So namespaces don't actually by default have labels. So let's just go ahead and try to label the namespace. So kubectl label namespace ns1 and name equals to ns1, right? Okay, and if we go ahead and try to access REST API pod from pod 1, right? So let's just go ahead and try to do that. So kubectl get pods from REST API namespace, and I want to see the IP, and -n ns1, right? So we should be able to access REST API or this particular pod from nginx1 but not from nginx2, right? And the reason is in the manifest we are saying incoming traffic from namespace ns1, that is ns1, right? This ns1 should have a label name equals to ns1, right? And from this particular namespace, from these pods, the traffic is allowed, and this is the only pod that has this particular label, right? So exec it ns1, and if we exec into this pod and try to access, right, we are able to access our application. But if we try to exec into another pod, right, I would like to highlight that we are in the same namespace. So both of these pods are in the same namespace. So if we say curl, this should not be allowed, right? Because we are specifying that incoming request only from pods that have app colon nginx1 label in namespace that has label ns-1 should be allowed, right? And we can see that we are not able to communicate to the REST API pod from the other pod, from the second pod that we have in ns1 namespace. And if we try to access REST API from another namespace as well, this would also not be allowed, right? So if we just so we can see that connection has been timed out. If we get the pods from ns do, let's just see. I think the this should also not be allowed. And here we go, we are not able to connect to our workload application, right? So yeah, this is about all these use cases that I wanted to discuss. One thing that I would like to emphasize, one thing that I would like to highlight is, I just discussed about ingress type of policies, right? So what we did is, we just allowed the ingress or incoming requests. But similarly, you can specify egress type of policies as well. And in egress, you are just going to specify to, right, instead of from. And we are going to specify to in the similar fashion that we specified from. For example, namespace selectors and pod selectors or their combination, or IP range, IP block, right, using CIDR, right? So once you understand one kind of policy, I would say it's pretty straightforward or pretty similar, right? uh, Another thing that I would like to discuss about is, if we have a look into all the network policies that are in the REST API namespace, we would be able to see almost three network policies, right? And all these network policies are applied on the same pod, right? So once there are more than one network policy on the same resource, union of those roles is applied, right? So it wouldn't be like, for example, if one network policy is created earlier, so order is not going to matter. Union of the rules that are specified in those network policies would be applied, right? So that is another thing that I wanted to discuss about, right? uh, yeah, so I hope this made sense. This was pretty much it. If you look into the Kubernetes documentation, you would be able to see some examples of network policies. For example, there is a simple network policy that can be created to deny all the traffic on a particular workload, right? So for example, let's say you want to make your application very secure. In that case, what you can do is, you can just apply that network policy on that workload, on that label, and all the incoming requests would be blocked. So if you want to have a look into that, so yeah, so these are some of the examples. So for example, by default, to deny all the ingress traffic, this can be used, right? And since we are not specifying any pod selector here, this is going to be applied on every pod, right? So, and this is specifying ingress, and for ingress we are not specifying any rule. So it simply means that all the ingress traffic or incoming requests to all the pods would be denied, right? Similarly, we can allow all and things like that. Another thing that I would like to highlight is, there are some ready-made network policies by Ahmed, and these are all the network policies that can also be referred to if you want to create a network policy. I would be linking these two documents in the description of the video. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty much it what I wanted to discuss about network policies. Let me just go ahead and quickly explain this network policy once again, right? So when we create a network policy, we should specify on which particular resource this network policy is going to be applied, right? So which particular workload is target, or which particular resource is subject of this particular network policy, and we do that using pod selector. So spec.pod selector actually specifies which particular pod is subject or target of this particular network policy, right? So it simply says that this network policy is going to be applied on pods that have role colon db labels in default namespace, right? And then policy type actually specifies what are all the policy types that we are configuring as part of this network policy. So in this particular case, we are specifying, we are saying that we are configuring ingress as well as egress type of connections in this particular network policy. And for ingress as well as egress, we specify from which particular, from what are the set of pods, or what are the set of IP ranges the connection is allowed. And in case of egress, we specify to which particular pod or IP block the connection is allowed to, right? So ingress is from and egress is to, and then we can actually use namespace selector, pod selector, or combination of these two, right, to actually specify the things, right? Yeah, so this was pretty much it. If you like the video, you can consider subscribing to the channel, uh, like the video, share it with your friends, colleagues, and yeah, let me know about your feedbacks. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.